another time for YouTube about these bed bolts, another bad design. Ford at its best. Even Dodge with some of their bed bolts. Most of the GM bed bolts are underneath, and they either break off with an air gun, which is good, or they come right out, which is even better. But I seldom struggle with any GM bed ever in my memory. The only time I had this problem, and Dodge used to have a nut, a well nut underneath, and a flat bolt. GM had that for a while in their older trucks with that flat-headed bolt, almost like a stove bolt, carriage bolt. There's a couple names for them. I got to go after YouTube. Yes, do you want to be in the video or not? YouTube gave me a strike. My opinion about the strike to YouTube, okay, they're going to become extinct in a crackhead platform just like Facebook. You see, I worked for the Department of Defense, and how I told you about what's coming with this AI. Okay, how do you think they were finding these trucks to uniquely blow up a truck at a certain spot? Well, I was telling people about that cell phone and the GPS in your vehicle. You see, when your vehicle has all that spyware that they can tap into, okay? Europe already has mainframes. They have most of our White House tapped. Our officials, some of them in the defense capacity, they have to have special equipment that's built here for basically internet type of interfacing communication, okay? You see, AI, you saw some politicians and upcoming politicians, they disappeared in really remote parts of the United States. They all had one thing in common: that phone. That phone. Okay? YouTube can give me all the strikes they want, but as we say in the military, as being a commander at my post, okay, if you were under my watch, I didn't give a shit necessarily if I offended one person in 50 in a room, okay? Military is like that. You see, I speak, I lay out my objectives, and therefore the underlings are not allowed to refuse orders, because you end up in places like Kansas, Leavenworth, there's other facilities. Depends on what kind of mental fucking derangement that people have is where they end up. But I don't care if I offend one person in 50 in a room. The objective is saving lives, is why I speak out. You see, that's why I credited YouTube. Is you can go to YouTube for many various opinions on something. And normally when you see, like, you're doing a job like this, okay, and you see 3 or 4 guys doing it the same way, that's pretty much telling you or me that I should pretty much go about that. But one thing I do not do, okay, is give bad information, especially about safety, your vehicles, okay? But YouTube's not giving me a break. I'm not superhuman. I will say that people that worked in capacities like mine, they had some other mental faculties that a lot of other people don't possess, because you have to be able to foresee what your actions are going to bring you. And sometimes we got ourselves into some situations that were seemingly suicidal, but guys like me would come in and out the other side, and they were like, how the hell did you do that? Well, people see that with automotive work. It's something that they can't mentally grasp the whole sphere of things, and that's what's happening with YouTube. They're not grasping the whole sphere of things, that they're going to be an extinct platform like a lot of others. Smarter than most third graders and honor roll students today. But anyway, I try to lay out my case that we are in danger, all of us, with this AI, these data centers, okay? Because you're not going to have future truthful politicians. And where I'm going down President Donald J. Trump's throat, we've already have admitted communists in our midst, in our public offices, our state and our federal offices, admitted communists. And all he has is some blowhard, oh, he's a POS or whatever. This is happening under his watch. You got to assume that Trump is part of this. He's endangering all of us, because communism has killed more people. I told you, I walked over those mass graves, Munich, near Munich, Stalingrad. There was a couple places I got to in, actually in Russia, outside of the aviation arena. You can make Russian friends, and you can go for a visit if you can get permission, which I did. And I got to see some things, right there on the German border with Russia. I don't have the vocabulary that there's 500 people underneath your feet. Some of those markers, they actually have pictures of the people, and I'm surprised. YouTube, I believe they cut that out of the one guy. He does those metal detecting digs. He actually had a video with that in it, and my private interface with him, he said they removed that portion because you could actually see they had plaques set up. Okay, like I said, I don't necessarily, I would defend old Israel, but I would not defend the Israel of today because they've become too corrupt. So I offended one person in 50 in a room, or say 10 people in a million. I don't have that many subscribers. I'm not a widespread channel because I really stick to one theater of operation. When people want to know how to do something, I get the comment, boy, I'm glad I ran across your video. Boy, you made that job so much easier for me. That's really the scope of what my channel is, but working as an American, okay, as an American, being an American, okay, means I have an allegiance to my people, their safety. I give a shit about everybody's well-being. The dumbed down generation are like dumb animals. They're following a lot of this. They're getting led to their own slaughter, and they don't realize it. And YouTube, by giving demonetization, okay, in one point, a couple of videos they're promoting me. Now the other thing is they gave me a warning. They didn't shit can my channel or anything. But as I told you, by grasping that sphere, you have to have other perceptions, especially when you're in a military capacity, acting either in a command or a lead operation or an advisor. So what I was trying to say about my capacity, we have a think tank. But you see, that's for all this bad, for everything good that is used, then it gets twisted and perverted into another use. Just like, how many civilian things that we use are used in the military for warfare, okay? I don't like the word killing, okay? That's why I have animals and I have children, okay? And I'm not dead or in jail because I don't enjoy killing anything, and especially after my desert vacation, George Bush. That I'd like. We're not going to go there. Look, YouTube's got to stop this. They're already after censorship in the UK to shut people up. Let's not have this happen. Somebody's warning. Let's have the conversation on my channel and start hitting me up about what you think about this. Because remember I told you how they're finding people is with this good, it's supposed to be good technology. They knocked out a lot of people's landlines. They had to get one of those second assholes, surveillance. I call my cell phone a surveillance device, but then I'm not engaged in illegal activities. There's very little I have to worry about other than, well, if somebody's trying to find me, well, I have an antidote for that. And good luck trying to get rid of a stock car driver. I had a car in my lane the other day. The lady dropped her. It was evident that she dropped her phone. Coming head on at me. I went over to the other side of the road, spun the truck out, dropped it down, punched it, and now that put the check engine light on. But anyway, I saved the truck and I saved myself from getting killed. And she did clip another vehicle, but she only sideswiped that one. She was getting back in her lane. And the other people, I think it was like I would say it was like a utility body truck. And there were two females in that utility body truck. They weren't men. But anyway, they did get together. I called the state police. And, well, anyway, 911 hung up on me, actually, is what happened. So I never really did get to talk to anybody about that. So whoever they called or whatever, I think everybody was all right. But I'm just saying, they like either it's a car accident or you're in a remote place and they can find you. And like I said, I have an antidote for that. I have other gear. I have stuff where they can't detect the phone. I can go 5 miles down the road and I disappear off the map as far as a GPS trace in the phone. Buddy Brown covered that one pretty good. Always carry one of those wallets. Don't think putting your phone under your seat just because it loses signal is going to help. You got to have something that's going to totally block it. All right, thank you for watching my videos. And people, you get on YouTube about this censorship. I didn't mean to offend anybody, okay? Especially when I'm a Heinz 57 of ethnic variety. I identify with my Amish side because that's where I was raised. I was raised with hard work. I was raised with values. And I think YouTube needs some consideration before they give me a strike. But maybe that's what they gave me, a strike. Like I said, they didn't remove my channel. But people need to be very much deeper thinkers. And I've been constantly telling YouTube that, and my viewers, the people like you that watch me. You've got to be a little bit deeper thinker, okay? And remember about those think tanks, okay? I participate in one, Quantico, Virginia, okay? And there's some people there, we sit there with Mr. X names. They know our faces, but they don't know our real names. We enter that room to think, to pool our ideas, not to get personally friendly with each other. It's a place that I would like to be closer to some of the guys because they're a lot smarter than I am. But then some of those guys think I'm a lot smarter than they are. It's just the fact that you have some very intelligent minds all gathered in one room. And that's where I wanted, like I said, I want to thank you for watching my videos, and I want people to comment to me about this censorship type of stuff. Okay? I don't know how many people I offended. They didn't tell me how many people didn't like what I had to say. But I want to tell you something. It's so easy right now to use this technology for warfare on the American people and to take over this country. And apparently our president has spent a better part of 3 years in office and has done nothing about this takeover. Not one rat, rodent, or weasel, Pelosi, Hillary, Shifty, Comey, Ray, all them rats, rodents, rat skins, none of them are in jail. And they all deserve to be there. Because it's been, what they participated in basically is treason. Okay? I don't want to hear it was another conceited, it was just a conceited effort on their part to, we conceited effort for what? You better tell me, because as I said, I have that triple digit IQ. I can outthink most of the opinion. Thank you for watching my channel, and comment. Bark up to me, don't be afraid. Some of you guys, I throw a little insult. If you insult my intelligence, I can be a little bit rough every now and then. Just part of my personality defect, I guess. My job, as I said, was to save lives, not to piss people off. Thank you.